Electric or fuel? It's the same question most of the car buyers ask today. So are electric vehicles truly the future of mobility, or sticking to the traditional internal combustion engine seems to be a logical decision? As you all know, electric cars are taking over the road. But one big question remains: are they cheaper to run than gas cars? From range and charging time to cost and convenience, today we're going to break down the facts so you can decide which one is best for you. Again, who saves more, EV drivers or gas guzzlers? First, let's cover the basics. Electric vehicles are powered by rechargeable batteries instead of gasoline. And the size of the battery, which is measured in kilowatt hours, determines how far you can drive on a single charge, and that is called the range. A higher battery capacity means longer range. For example, a car with 60 kilowatt hours battery and an efficiency of 4 miles per kilowatt hours would give you around 240 miles of range. On the other hand, fuel cars are powered by internal combustion engines running on gasoline or diesel, and the range depends on the fuel tank size and also the fuel efficiency, which is how many miles you get per gallon. The cost of charging an electric vehicle depends on a couple of things. It depends on when you charge, how you charge, and also where you charge. So you could decide to charge at home, or you could decide to charge at public space. It also depends on the cost of electricity. For instance, the cost of electricity in the UK is around 27 pence per kilowatt hours, and also in the US it's around 17 cents per kilowatt hours. So the vehicle that I'm currently driving is a Volvo EX30 with a battery capacity of 64 kilowatt hours of battery. So for you to know the cost to charge this vehicle from 0 to 100%, what you do is you multiply the battery capacity, which is 64, multiply by the cost of charging. If I'm using the UK, that would be 64 multiplied by 27 pence, which gives you around 17 pounds, which is a very good one. And if you're charging in the US, that would be 64, which is the battery capacity, multiplied by 17 cents. So you could do the math and let me know what it is in the comment section. Another thing to consider is where you're charging. Usually, charging at home is the best option. If you have a dedicated home charger and you have an apartment, if you're living in a house rather than in an apartment building. If you're living in an apartment building, charging or having a dedicated charger is a little bit difficult. But if you have your own house and you have a dedicated home charger, you could charge at night. Usually you could charge at off-peak period, usually at night, and the cost of electricity at night is usually lesser because at that very time electricity is less in demand, so you're able to charge lesser. And if you don't have a dedicated home charger, for instance, if you live in an apartment building, one of the options you have is to use a public charger. So if you're using a standard public charger, what you spend on charging is lesser. But if you're using a super fast charger like the ones Tesla offers, Tesla has a lot of super fast chargers, you tend to spend more on charging, but you could literally charge your vehicle from 0 to 80% in 20 minutes, 30 minutes maximum, which is a very good one. But the downside is you tend to spend more on the cost of charging. So it now depends on which one you are comfortable with. Now let's fill up a fuel car. If your tank holds 15 gallons and you are paying 541 pence per gallon, that is 15 gallons multiplied by 541 divided by 100, which gives you 81 pounds. That is over 4 times the cost of charging an EV for a similar range. And what about long trips? And that is where it gets very interesting, especially when you rely solely on public charging. EV charging can happen in different ways: at home, at work, or at a public charging station. Level 1 charging uses a standard household outlet, but it is very slow, adding about 4 to 5 miles per hour of charge. Level 2 charging, which you can install at home or find at public locations, adds around 25 miles of range per hour. And then there is a DC fast charging. This is the fastest option, adding around 200 miles of range in just 20 to 30 minutes. Cars with internal combustion engine have the edge in refueling speed. Few minutes at the pump, and off you go. Thank you for honoring this invite. My very question is, what EV do you drive at the moment, and what has actually driven your decision to go electric?
Thanks actually for giving me this opportunity to. It's nice to be on your channel.
Thank you.
So at the moment I drive a Jaguar I-Pace. And why Jaguar I-Pace? We all know Jaguar is known for its luxury and also for its performance also. So the reason why I decided to choose a Jaguar is because of the performance and the luxury, and it suits my kind of person and my style also. So yeah. Why did I decide to go electric? Well, I've always been a sucker for the environment. So going electric helps the environment, as you're aware, compared to the ICE vehicles. Also, it's cheap to run, it's cheap to maintain. As you have less moving parts like you have in the ICE cars. Also, it takes me very, very little and less to charge compared to filling up my tank when I had a diesel engine. And I think that's pretty much most of my reasons, the ones I can.
Yeah, that's a very good one. My second question is, on an average, how much do you spend on charging? And would you say using or running an electric vehicle is way cheaper than running an internal combustion engine?
My answer is yes. Using an electric vehicle is way cheaper because on an average, to charge from 0 to 80, so you have what they call off-peak and on-peak. Off-peak, it costs me not less than £5 to charge it. During the peak times, it costs me like £11. And compared to an ICE vehicle, which £50, £70 to fill your tank. And also, like I mentioned earlier, there's less moving parts. The only thing I have to worry about is my tires, and if you're driving properly, your tires won't go really quickly. Another thing is the fact that, well, the package I have covers maintenance for my tires and everything that has to do with the car. So yeah, it's a no-brainer really for me to go electric.
Yeah, that's a very nice one. My final question is, what advice would you give to people who are contemplating or people who are thinking of going electric? Would you say going electric is a good thing? What advice do you have for people who are intending to go electric?
I'm not going to sit here and say that going electric is very smooth, but if you want to go electric, I would advise you to do a lot of research, because you know about mileage anxiety, whereby you're looking for where your next charger is. Having said that, there's a lot of fast chargers around that you can charge your car from 0 to 80% in 30 minutes, the DC charging ones. And what my advice would be, do a lot of research. Do a lot of research with regards to your energy and how you can get like off-peak charging and stuff like that. Also, the range of the car you want. There are different cars with different ranges now, ranging from 250 miles to, like, let's say 400 miles and things like that. So do a lot of research when it comes to the kind of car you want to buy, the kind of energy supply you have. And also, if you want something luxurious, you can go an I-Pace, maybe because I drive an I-Pace and I understand how nice it is. But there are other electric cars out there, like Teslas, like the BYD, the new ones, which are really, really good also. That's my advice for just do your research properly, ask a lot of questions, maybe go for test driving. There's a lot of options out there. You can go to dealership and say you want to test drive. They'll give you to test drive for a couple of minutes or hours in a day. And yeah, just research generally and ask questions a lot too.
That's a very good one. Thank you for the interview, and I appreciate it. Thank you. Maintenance is another big factor. Internal combustion engines have loads of moving parts, so you have to do transmission repairs, you have to do oil changes, exhaust gas problems, and so on. Whereas electric vehicles have fewer moving parts, so there are no transmission repairs, there are no oil changes, and there are no exhaust gas problems. So that could literally save you thousands of pounds in a year. Here is a sample cost breakdown over 5 years between an electric vehicle and a fuel car. The initial purchase price for an EV is higher than a fuel car. However, the cost of charging an EV is cheaper than fueling a car. The maintenance cost for a fuel car is higher than that of an electric vehicle, and currently in the UK, there are tax incentives when you drive an electric vehicle. Electric vehicles produce zero tailpipe emissions, which reduces your carbon footprint significantly. Electric vehicles generally have higher carbon footprint than gasoline cars due to the energy intensive of manufacturing their batteries, but EVs are still considered better for the environment over their lifespan due to lower emissions during driving. Electric vehicle might fit into your routine if you frequently charge at home overnight. If you drive in the city all the time, then you might consider an EV. But if you usually take long trips, most of the time, then you might consider an internal combustion engine. Or if you want the best of the both worlds, then you might go for an option like an hybrid electric vehicle, which is a combination of internal combustion engine and an electric vehicle. So let me know in the comment section, what do you think about electric vehicle? Are you a big fan of EV, or you would rather stick to an internal combustion engine? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And if you've really enjoyed this video, I will appreciate if you can give the video a thumbs up. I will also appreciate if you can subscribe, like, comment and share. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.